All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new show. This show is called Run It Back. Basically, what this show is, where we will take anime movies, anime series, maybe some regular movies, maybe some live action series. I don't know yet, but for right now, we're just focusing on anime. But we're gonna go to the old classics, whether it's old or new classics. We're gonna just run them back, see if they're rewatchable, see if it's worth running back, and we're gonna do a deep dive on them. Let you know if you should share it with your friends. Let you know a couple things about the movie and what we think. Well, joining me as always, I had to start it off with my anime talk brethren, Mr. Chrissa SJE. You already know. But because of today's movie, I had to get someone who was knowledgeable of the movie. Because if I'm not mistaken, I know me and Chrissa well enough. Chrissa, was this your first time watching this movie?
Yes, it was.
Okay, see, I know me and my friend very well. That was my first time watching it too. And the purpose of running it back is to see if you can, A, if it's rewatchable, but B, if it's recommendable to your friends. So we try to have a little bit of, did you not watch it? Have you watched it? Are you a fan of it? And I wanted to have someone who is really a fan of it. And that's Mr. Haztik. Haz is in the building, rapper from the NYC. What is up?
Oh, man. I'm hyped to be here. I'm high-key, big fan, boy. So this is, super hype.
Hell yeah, we're glad to have you. And for those who don't know, this week's movie is Your Name. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this show is going to be every other week. It's going to happen maybe twice a month. That this show is to give more YouTube content. But with this show, I try to go deeper than we do in the podcast, take notes, go really in depth into it. So the way the show's going to work, first off, I'm going to give some background information about Your Name. So about the director, Makoto Shinkai. Shinkai studied Japanese literature at Chuo University, where he was a member of the Juvenile Literature Club and drew picture books. He traces his passion for creation to manga, anime, and novels. He was exposed to it in middle school. His favorite anime films are Castle in the Sky, The Castle of Cagliostro, and Pat Labor 2. Shinkai has been called the new Miyazaki in several reviews, including those by anime advocates and active anime comparisons, but he calls that an overestimation. His first full-length movie was The Place, Promised in Our Early Days, which was released nationwide in Japan in November 20th, 2004. You can watch it in America now on streaming, but you have to pay for it, obviously. It was critically acclaimed, winning many honors. Before that, he made a bunch of short films and worked on animation for a video game company called Falcom. On August 26, 2016, Shinkai released Your Name. The film received positive reviews, giving praise for its narration, his narrative, animation, music, and emotional weight. It was also a commercial success, becoming the fourth highest grossing film of all time in Japan, behind Spirited Away, Titanic, and Frozen. And just in terms of anime films, it's second behind Spirited Away. That year in 2016, Your Name beat out some pretty big name movies for the top box office getter. It beat Star Wars The Force Awakens, Godzilla, Zootopia, and Finding Dory. That's just how big of a success Your Name was for Japan. And it topped the box office records in Japan for 12 non-consecutive weekends. And yeah, that's just a little bit of background about the film Your Name. I'll start off with you, Chris. So did you expect, after hearing everything and watching everything, does the results make sense? And give us your early impressions of the film.
Oh yeah, for sure. This definitely exceeded my expectations, because when I first started watching, I was like, okay, this seems cool. It seems like a very I don't even know the word. I don't want to see, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you, because the first 15 minutes was like, all right, am I just watching a rom-com? I was getting ready to come in here and shit on Slice of Life niggas. I was ready for it, bro. I was there, and then the next 15 minutes, it's like, oh, so this film is like this. Okay, I get you. No, this film definitely intrigued me. I'm gonna say my comparison for when it's time. Haz, man, what did you think initially of this film? If you remember your first time viewing, and just, do the numbers make sense? And what's your thoughts of Shinkai, just early thoughts?
So, also, excuse me if there's noise in the background. New York City,
No, you're good, brother.
People come through. My first time watching this, it wasn't in theaters or anything on the giant TV. It was actually on my PC, and I feel like that took away from the experience. So in terms of the beauty of it, I wasn't enamored by it. Just because of what I was watching it on. But this story, I remember when I first watched it, I was like, I don't think I can watch anime anymore. Like there's nothing out there for me that's gonna top this experience, which I feel like is just now that I watched like Weathering with You, like that's just a movie experience for me. Like
Yeah.
I go in and then it's just like, well, this is the end game. And that was my first time. And it does make sense that it got numbers that it did, honestly.
It deserved it, man. And to say it's the second most anime film grossing of all time behind Spirited Away, it makes a lot of sense. And like I said initially, I thought this was just going to be some slice of life stuff until you get into the crux of it. Very reminiscent of Freaky Friday, but to a whole nother level. That's literally one of the things I wrote down. I was like, oh, Freaky Friday. But then as I keep going, I get deeper into my thoughts because I watched it twice over this weekend. Once was the first time, and then once was the second time. So let's get to best moments of the movie. Just a brief description of the movie. These two people are having a Freaky Friday-esque experience, and they're living in each other's shoes. They're going back and forth, doing each other's lives. They would wake up back in their lives and realize that the other one has done something. We're dealing with Mitsuha and not Teshi. Teshi's the friend. Oh my gosh. Taki. And then those are the two people experiencing this. And then all of a sudden something happens. We're going to do spoilers, but for right now, something happens, the crux of the movie, and then boom, the movie takes off. But the first scene I have is the shot is before the movie even like starts off. The shot of the star falling / comet, because in the dub trailer they said it was like a star falling, but the comet falling and it was beautiful before the title card even went off. And that was just a moment for me that I had. Chrissa, give us a moment you had, brother.
Like just favorite moments in general.
Favorite moments in general.
Well, I just one of my favorite moments was whenever was Taki's date, probably. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Taki's date was probably one of my favorite moments in the movie. Cause like it was so random to me. I'm watching this. He wasn't prepared for the date at all. I was wondering where that was going. You know what I'm saying?
That was definitely, I wrote that one down as well. Haz, give us one of your favorite moments.
I think me and you have the same favorite moment, but I kind of, not just the beautiful visual of the star, it was that whole beginning dialogue that was cut between Taki and Mizuha, because I feel like within those, for the second time watching it, maybe not the first time I didn't realize this, but like it really set every major point of the movie in like 5 minutes. Like the switch between the characters, their different lifestyles, this star, and like it was so beautifully done. Looking back on it, I was like, this is great.
No, that was absolutely amazing. And I agree with that 100%. Another scene that I have is the scene that shows how small the town is. And this is where you start to get like some of the philosophies and the mythos of it. This is very early in the movie. And you see it goes through, and it's Mitsuha and her friend Sayashi. They're just talking about the town and how small it is. They're basically just going through it. And you see Teshi gets upset. And then Sakia and Teshi start talking about their own futures. And you realize that Teshi is upset because his future's in this town. He has no dreams or aspirations outside of his small town, where Mitsuha just wishes she could go to Tokyo and wishes she could get out. And that's a little bit of relatable from some, at least, I don't know about you, Has, being in NYC, but for me and someone like me and Chris, it's like, we know people like that who don't want to leave our hometown. And it's like, that's someone that you see in everyday life. So that felt very reminiscent in you. And it's just interesting because it's like, does Saya want to have dreams past that? You can obviously tell she loves Teshi. Will she like move past it to realize her dreams, or will Teshi move out of his shell in his circle to see that, you know, maybe they can be something more? That was a scene that really hit me just because of how close to home it was. Chrissa, give us another scene or just a moment that you thought of this movie.
Another one of my favorite movies. I really like the beginning half of the movie. Like I love the end half of the movie. Like that's where a lot of the impactful craziness happens. Like the movie didn't really set in what I was watching until about like an hour through, like maybe halfway through. Then I'm like, oh shit, this is getting fucking crazy. Yeah. But a lot of my favorite moments are like the innocent moments at the beginning. Like one of my favorite moments in the entire movie is whenever Mitsuha wakes up as Taki in Tokyo, and like you see the whole montage of the city, and in contrast to the country where she's from, it was just like a whole nother world. And it was beautiful just seeing the scenery of Tokyo and the city. I'm a big weeb, so I always wanted, like, I'm like Mitsuha, like I want to go to Tokyo and enjoy that and just be engulfed in it, and just seeing her explore for the first, like thinking she's dreaming, you know what I'm saying? Like meeting his friends and everything. It was just a beautiful thing just seeing her wake up as Taki and just explore Japan. Like she's getting her dream come true in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I wrote that scene down as well. That scene was amazing,
That's
bro.
one of my favorites.
Like,
it was so iconic.
just see, and then when his homie's like, I don't know why Taki's being so cute, and then
that was hilarious.
Like, what? It's like, what are you talking about, bro?
And she was finessing his life too. Like she was talking to his boss and like
spending all his money.
She was smooth with it.
No, that was definitely an amazing moment. All right, Haz, give us another one of yours.
Mine was, I guess, like the same way the country sort of hit for you, and like people with like Tenchi doesn't have aspirations out, and like Mizuho wanted to get out. When I saw not Taki being taken over by Mizuho, but like Taki dealing with the day after, and like I thought that compared to Mizuho's, because Mizuho, I'm gonna pronounce her name horribly. I feel like it shouldn't be pronounced like that, but you don't see Taki's day as Mizuho. You see Mizuho's day as Taki though. So I feel like him dealing with it was a lot more funny and impactful because you really see the payoff, and also like a lot of the things that like I guess like in being in a city, I didn't realize how different it was. Like I do have friends who aren't in the city, so we talk about it sometimes. Like dealing with like stressful jobs and all that, I thought it was like hilarious. The contrast, it was great.
No, that was definitely a good moment as well. I think I have that one written down too. I got another one. It's just a small scene. It's funny how when we see the kids go from teens to the world, it seems a little more complicated. And it just, when you talk about Yotsuhuna, I believe her name, the little sister of Mitsuha, she shows that when she's talking to Mitsuha about why don't you go make sake in Tokyo, become this YouTube unboxer. And Mitsuha's like, bro, you don't understand, dog. Like, shit is hard. You cannot do that. And then Yotsuhuna's just like, nah, girl, like, you don't understand how easy it is. You're making it complicated. And that's when Mitsuha screams that she hates her life. And then that's right before we realize, oh, they're living a Freaky Friday-esque experience. Chrissa, you got another one? Because I just have a bunch written down, and I'm going to just go through mine because that's kind of I go through each of the movie, but I want to get some of y'all's highlighted moments.
I don't know if I should mention this moment because it's like the big one in the, you know what I'm saying, in the movie. But okay, I think you know what I'm talking about, like the craziest.
Then wait till I get to that point. Then we can talk.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
gonna wait for that one. I'm about to say that's probably one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Has any earlier points in the movie before we get to like the super crux that you have?
I think there was one scene. It was when Mizuha was doing her when she was performing at the festival. I just thought that whole scene like it was really like well done, and the nighttime village was really beautiful.
No, it was, man. And that's where you see a lot of character development for like her grandmother. Because the whole time I'm like, before we realize that the grandmother does know, it's like, does she know? Is she like, what's up with this? And then that's where they're like, when she's spitting, when she's making the sake, let me not say spitting, when how she makes it, and those kids make fun of her. It's just like, nah, bro, you kids are lame. Y'all those lame high schoolers that don't make anything of your life.
I really said fuck them kids out loud. I was tight. I was like, shut up. What the fuck are you talking about?
100%. Chris, you was about to say something.
I think I got another one. It's just some slight work shit, but like another one of my favorite moments in the movie was whenever they were finally falling into the what's it called, like the schedule or whatever, like the
yeah.
I can't believe I can't think of the word right now. Whenever they were like falling into the rotation of their lives and everything,
yeah,
they were kind of like back and forth in the notes, and he was like, "Stop spending all my money," and she was like, "Don't touch my boobs" and shit like that. She was fucking hilarious. She was like, "Don't talk." I was like looking at the list. It was like, "Don't talk to boys. Don't do this.
Don't take a bath." Every morning he would wake up and touch her tits, like
every single morning.
And the sister would be like, "Oh, you must really love your boobs." That shit was hilarious, but it was realistic. Another scene that I have is so. The scene where we see Mitsuha as Taki being a waiter in his job, Chrissa kind of talked. Oh no, that was the date. This is when we see him being the waiter in the job, and Taki gets like scammed by this dude, and that's where we meet Miss Okadera. We're gonna just cut into these as I go along. This is an Are We Sure? An Are We Sure is something about the movie that Are we sure it's like that? My first are we sure is, are we sure that everyone in Taki, even because he loves this lady and is trying to pursue her, would he call her always Miss Okadera? To me, by saying Miss Okadera, he has no shot with her at all. Are we sure? Like, I didn't buy that. Maybe that's a Japanese thing, but like in terms of America, it's like, nah, man, what's this lady's first name? If you're trying to fucking finesse her, not finesse her, if you're trying to date her and court her, you're not gonna just call her Miss Okadera the whole time like she's older than you.
The reason that they did that, if you remember, was like the day after when Taki had to clean up the mess of Misa. The guy, he came into work and the guys were like, so what are you doing? Why are you making moves, right? It's like, what happened to the bro code? So yeah, I could believe that he likes her. It's just like he just wasn't pursuing. Like you got to keep Shawty away because we all like her.
Yeah, and he had told her that too. He was like, look, I'm not even, she was like, I'm trying to hook you up. She's like, I'm getting you on dates and relationships and shit. He's like, I don't want to be in no fucking relationship. He's like, stop meddling in my shit. He's like, I'm good like it is.
No, that was lit. Okay, so
I thought you were about to say something about the asshole customer at the at the diner.
Oh no, that dude too.
I was like, that's realistic, bro. Like that hit home because as a waiter, like when you're dealing with these rich folk, you know what I'm saying? They come into you and they sit down and they just expect they'll come in and be problematic on purpose just to do it because they can. So I saw that shit hit home for me. Seeing him deal with that, kind of like I know customers like that back from my waiter days.
No, that shit was hella realistic. We already talked about when Taki goes back to Taki the first time. I have that one written down between like his friends and Miss Okadera, and just where it's like, oh, bro, you're acting different. Another scene that I have is the scene where they realize they're not only freaky Fridaying, but they do it a lot. That's what Chris was talking about, the schedule as it comes down, and you see like a whole, it's a whole lot, like 2 to 3 times a week they're doing it. The next scene I have is the scene during Magic Hour when Taki wakes up crying, and it's like he's talking to this is like the start of him talking to his grandmother and building a relationship. Well, not with his grandmother, with Mitsuha's grandmother, and just the idea of that I just thought it was funny that they put in the idea of Magic Hour when in America, everybody during sunset's like, oh, the golden hour, we got to take a million selfies. That just felt really realistic, and it was like a touch of the movie that I really appreciated. Another scene that I have before I get to y'all, because I'm trying to catch us up to the end, because I wrote a shit ton. Okay, we said Taki's date with Miss Okadera. The scene where Taki finds, all right. So we're getting to the shits. So the whole time in the movie, I'm thinking like, all right, bro, if you really love this girl, why don't you go to her location? Why don't you go to her house? So then he gets with Miss Okadera, he gets with his homie, and they're like, all right, we're going to drive to the place. He's drawing it, he's sketching it, because he didn't know the name of the place. But to me, if you knew, he was a dummy, because if you knew the word, the Mizuyaki Shrine, or whatever her Mitsuha's last name, all you had to do is put in Google the Mizuyaki Shrine. But that's another are we sure? But I'm rocking with it. I just let it go. So he has to do this crazy drawing and just go to everyone and be like, what city is this? Which is just crazy that he did that. But he loved this girl. So he goes, and then all of a sudden they find out that, whoa, Itomori was destroyed 3 years ago. I literally wrote the scene where Taki finds out Itomori was destroyed. OMG, OMG. When the memos start getting deleted, OMG, OMG. This is sad. When you find out she died, OMG, OMG. That's a legit what I have in my notes. Like, it all just starts happening. Like, he forgets her name. It's 3 years ago. He's like, what the fuck? And I'm just sitting there, what the hell? Like, what is going on? And that's when the movie really was like, when it was Freaky Friday, I was like, all right, this is cool, but I've seen this before because it's Freaky Friday. When it did that and brought the time element aspect of it, I was like, oh, this movie's on another one. It's a whole nother level. Chris, how'd you feel when you found out that, oh, this shit happened 3 years later and they're like moving through each other's life through time?
Now, see, with me, it all started whenever, right after Taki's date with Homegirl, you know what I'm saying? Homegirl with the pretty lips, you know what I'm saying? His boss or whatever.
Yeah, Miss Okadera.
Apparently, like it started whenever after the date was over, he's like, oh, I gotta call Mitsu and be like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Nobody asked you this. And when he called, I'm sitting there, first of all, going through my mind, I'm sitting there like, y'all been doing this for weeks apparently, and you've never called her? Like, her number's in your phone and y'all have never had a conversation? Like, that's, the notes is cool and everything, but me, as soon as I find out your phone number and shit, I'm calling you, I'm like, bitch, what's up, nigga? Look, give me the date, like, give me what you did today before we go to sleep, so I gotta wake up and find out what you did. You gotta tell me before we go to bed what you've been doing in my body. So when he called and it didn't go through, I was like, something's up. Something's weird with that.
Okay, can I explain my thought process to that? I thought it was because she lived in such a podunk town that they couldn't get cellular service.
That was the same thought process I had. I was like, she just don't got reception.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's why I was okay with believing, because like I said, at this point they had a couple are we sure? But that was something that I was like, all right, maybe.
It skipped back to her and like her phone was ringing, but it was Tashi or whatever his name is.
Teshi.
Teshi. It was Teshi calling her. So I'm like, what the fuck? Did it just like was it a busy signal because Teshi was calling first? Or what was the deal? But it was definitely fishy to me because it showed right after that she had her phone on her and it was ringing. But I'm sitting there like, something not right. So then whenever it started tying together, I was like, yep, that's about right.
That shit blew my mind, bro. To find out that whole town was destroyed, I was like, oh my God, I was so sad.
That fucked me up too.
What was your first thoughts when you find out that, this takes place 3 years later, and then you find out that the town was destroyed?
So the second time I had the same exact reaction. I'm like, fuck, like this is like it's because the Freaky Friday is cool, right? And I think like it's a nice concept, but to throw time travel in there just makes it like, damn, that's fucking fire.
Yeah, no, it definitely takes it to the whole nother level, and that's what makes it different, and it makes it original. And literally, my girlfriend who doesn't really like anime, just to keep it a bean, she walks in the house, I'm watching this, and she just sees me sitting in like fetal position, pillow on my stomach. She's like, "What are you watching?" She's like, "These people don't have powers." I was like, "No, these are just normal humans." And then I tell her a little bit of the story. She starts watching it, and then she's just like, "Oh my gosh, I hope they like meet up." And she was freaking out. That's how you know this is a good movie, when non-anime people get to it and you watch it. And I think due to the deliberate pace of the beginning, the payoff is a lot better, because like it was slow. And like I said, I was gonna come in here and trash the shit out of it at like the first 15 minutes. I was ready at the first 15, but then when I start realizing how emotionally invested I am in this, it's like, oh damn, shit is real.
Yeah, bro, real tears, bro. Like me and my girl was watching it together. And at separate parts in the movie, we would each, like, I would start crying at a different parts. She would start crying. Nigga, this shit shouldn't be making me feel like this. I'm like, I'm getting really emotional right now, and I can't really understand why. I don't get it. And it was definitely, like, tear-jerking, bro. My girl like, are you crying? I'm like, no, nigga, I'm not crying. I'm chilling, man.
The worst part is that, like, I'm watching this, and I told Lynn this, too. Like, I just came off of watching or reading Domestic Girlfriend. And, like, I was already fucked up. Like, my emotional state was already in flux from that manga. So, like, I had to take a break, and it didn't work. So as soon as I got to this, I was like, I've already watched it. I know the end. I shouldn't be crying. I'm still crying.
Okay, see, that's something I was going to ask you. Does that make it run it backable? The fact that you still feel the emotions. You know the twist is coming, but it still feels painful and agonizing.
I think, like, I honestly think it's person to person, because I know people who, like, when it comes to anime, they just, having the ending spoiled, it ruins it for them, irregardless of the journey. And, you know, I think maybe this one, it's a little different. Like, yeah, anybody could run it back, because, like you were saying, people who aren't even into anime could get invested in this. But some people just might not be able to, like, know the end of the journey and appreciate how you get there and each step. And I think that honestly comes down to personal opinion. For me, I could run it back and cry all the time.
See, no, and I think it's run it backable, because the fact that, yeah, it's an anime, but at its core, it deals with love. It deals with the idea of going forward in the future, the idea of not knowing, that idea of having something that you're longing for, and that person you're longing for, and it's like, you want it, but it's a high school thing. And I love that they're in high school. So then when you leave high school, it's like, was that person really for me? I don't know. I go experience my life, but then that person is still for me, and I'm still longing for that. I know I'm jumping ahead, but I think that's what makes it run it backable. The fact that it's at its core, it's about love. It's about growing up. It's about the pain of losing. And yeah, it's a time travel thing, but its core is just about love and tradition and family at its core. So another scene that I have is, okay, so after he finds out Itamori was destroyed and his memos start getting deleted, and you find out when she died, the scene where Mitsuha, okay, wait, but I gotta, because I have it in beautiful moments. But I will get to beautiful moments. The scene where where Taki is going to the Mizuyaki shrine, and that scene where, and then when he falls, and then he is going through the comet, and then the whole animation of that, him going through, like, after he drinks the sake and going through her body and going back in time, and you see they switch to hand drawn, and you realize that the reason why he has this band on his arm is because he met her 3 years prior on the actual subway, and it's like, whoa, what the hell? So then he goes back inside of Mitsuha's body, and it's like, okay, he's here the day of the comet. That scene was crazy. And then seeing Mitsuha go through all this shit, and then when they get on top of the Mizuyaki shrine together, and then they meet for, I guess this is the second, when they meet for the second time in the Mizuyaki shrine, that was a big moment for me, because then you realize they're talking, and it's like, okay, now they're actually communicating with each other. And then when she's like, oh, let me write this on your hand, let me write this on your hand, so we don't forget each other's name. That was huge, and that's something that comes up again. What did you think? We'll start off with Haz this time, since we started off with Chrissa last time. What did you think of when they first met each other on the train, and then when they meet each other eventually on the shrine?
So that's one scene that, like, running it back, it doesn't have the same impact. It still looks beautiful. Like, it was great to watch, like, that whole star sequence, and then the flashback, seeing her life, and then the moment. But it didn't have the same impact. It still hit, just not as hard. I thought, like, it was cool, and I don't think that scene particularly alone, more as how it motivates him into his future actions, is what really, like, it's the start of that. I don't look at that scene alone anymore. I feel like when I first did, I was like, this is a revelation. But looking back, it's just like, this is building him and his character to, like, even go further and try to save this town and all that. So it was cool.
No, 100. Chrissa, what'd you think of this when the first time they meet each other, and then when leads to them meeting each other on the shrine?
Definitely super impactful. I think that my favorite part in the entire movie was that the part of him falling into the comet and everything.
Beautiful, man.
See, like, not only do you get to see the hand drawn, I'm saying, and that was that was crazy animation. But at the same time, you get to see her backstory with her father and her mother, and that was like heartbreaking. That was tear-jerking in itself. Like, seeing her dad deal with the death of her mom, and seeing her dad go nuts, kind of, and her grandma was like, "You staying with us now?" That was already getting the waterworks going.
Because I was already wondering, like, what's up with the pops? Why the pops a douche? I was already thinking that the whole time. And that was a scene I wrote down in the beginning when, like, she's walking through the thing. I just forgot to say, when she's walking through, and he's like, straighten up, me too. And I'm like, nigga, what? Why you giving a campaign speech? Bro, chill out.
With my girl, bro, I was like, wait, so this dude's the mayor? Like, people actually voting for the dude that's stopping his daughter and checking her in front of the whole city to tell her about her posture? I was like, nah, I'm never voting for that nigga. I would never vote for a nigga checking his daughter's posture embarrassingly.
I also noticed the scene where, like, where Teshi, like, he's in the crib, and then, like, his dad's the foreman, and then he's like, it smells like corruption.
Yes! That was a beautiful moment, because it just shows how, like, Teshi's one of those local kids that, like, he hates everything that's going on with his pops, but unlike Mitsuha, he doesn't have the drive to leave, so he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna get caught up in the shit, and I'm just a cycle of my father and my father's father, and just a cycle of not liking what I'm doing, but I have to, because I don't have any other way to get out. That's Teshi's character, like, and it's just, if you live in a small town, you know so many people like that, and it's just sad, man. It's super, super sad. But luckily, things change, but it takes a lot for us to get to where things change. So so they meet each other in the shrine, and then it goes through this whole sequence of Taki does it at first, where he's setting up the situation for them to save the town. But then it's like, Taki's like, and then they meet at the shrine, and Taki's like, all right, it's your turn to finish this up. So they write each other's name on it. Taki realizes, oh shit, she didn't write her name. He's starting to forget her name, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, Taki. But then we go to Mitsuha shit, and we see her going through all the shit. She's running through the situation, and are we sure that she would have went to her pops to go save the city? Like, are we sure? Like, I thought she would have just, in real life, told her homeboys, took her sister and her grandmother, and just went to the thing. I know she did the right thing, but in those situations in real life, I don't know if she was doing all that. But, you know, whatever. They're bringing over the broadcast, all the situation, like, go to the high school, the comet's going to hit. Oh, no, they say it's wildfire. They don't say about the comet yet. And then we find out that all their plans are getting busted. The girl who's broadcasting, Saya, she gets caught. And then Teshi's father's like, bro, why you did them explosives? And Teshi's about to get shitted on. And then it's just like all of a sudden we see the stuff break, the comet breaking, and it's all across the news. We see Taki in the 3 years ago time period. He's going outside to look at it because he's drawn to it. And then Mito finally gets to her dad, and then like she walks up to him and she gives him her piece of her mind, and she tells him, and then all of a sudden we just see the comet hit. We don't know what happens. The comet hits. We go back forward. I'm just like, oh my gosh, when we get to Taki, please, please, please let them have survived. We find out the whole town survived. It's just like, yes. But then it's like, Taki doesn't remember Mitsuha's name, and Mitsuha doesn't remember Taki's name. And the whole movie at the end is this: them as adults. We see Taki and his homies doing the same thing they were doing, but just older, trying to get jobs. They're going through the train, and then all of a sudden he's like, ooh, get a glance. But that's not her. And then he goes sit in this cafe. He sees our boy Teshi and Saya married. It's like, all right, lit. Shout out to them. Glad they're happy. And then they're walking through and he's in the train again. They're walking. He sees her face cross the train. That was such a beautiful shot. It's just like, oh, shit, serendipity. They run out, and they're both running. And then they get to the thing, and I'm just like, yo, Taki is not a real-ass homie. Because if he was, he wouldn't have waited until she was about to leave to say, hey, yo, girl, I know who you are. Like, or do I think I know you? He waited so long. But then she turns around crying and is like, I know you too. And then it's just like they all both say, what's your name? And they're just so happy. And it was so sad in that earlier parts, but the fact the way it ended just gave me so much happiness. It was just like, this movie was great. I'll get both of your thoughts on the closing parts of the film. Chrissa, you can start. Go ahead.
See, that was one of the are we sure moments for me. Like whenever they see each other on the train, they're like, oh shit. And they instantly, like you could tell, they instantly know it clicks. You know what I'm saying? Then they do all that running across the city to meet each other. I'm like, okay, how are they gonna meet in the exact spot? First of all, but I'm gonna let that shit slide because okay, it's a romance movie.
The trains were probably going two separate directions.
That's what I'm saying. And then they just so happen to meet in the same spot at the same time. And when it happens, you see Taki kind of look at her. He kind of calms down. He's like, "Whew." So they start kind of walking up the stairs. To me, I'm not walking up the opposite side of the stairs. I'm walking on the same. I'm running up to him like, "Hey, I know you." But they pass each other. What y'all doing? And I guess it was just for dramatic effect, you know what I'm saying? Because when they turn around and she's crying, it's super cute for like movie wise. But as far as me, I'm looking at the screen like, what are you niggas doing, son? I'm like mad the whole time. I'm sitting there like, don't tell me they're not about to fucking know each other. I was about to break my TV if they were like, huh. And they just walked away. I'd have been like, bro.
When Haz kept saying he was depressed from watching this movie, I'm thinking like, oh, we're going to have a shitty ending. We're going to have something to where it's like they don't meet each other. And I'm going to be sad as hell. And then when they met each other, I was like, oh, yes. And even my girlfriend at that moment, she was like crying. She was like, this was beautiful. I was like, if only you saw the beginning portion, you'd have been crying this whole time. Maybe you'll watch some more anime movies with me. It's not all just ninjas and pirates. Like, I'm a more well-rounded human being. But Haz, what'd you think of just the way the movie ended?
All right. So the movie ended. One of my "Are you sure's" was the name thing, right? And I didn't realize that. These are things I don't realize the first time watching. What I do know is that the pen that they wrote with stayed in present time. But there's no way this girl did not have her phone on her. Taki lost his memory immediately. Like, within first 2 seconds. Mizuho was running for a good 10 minutes before she was, like, screaming Taki's name and just didn't decide, let me write this down in a note somewhere on my phone, right? Like, I get it, plot, but...
Are we sure he would have said, I love you, and the purpose of the thing was to write down your fucking name?
No, I ain't gonna lie. I thought that as soon as he wrote that, I was like, this nigga wrote I love you. I'm like, I know it. I knew it. Then I saw it, I was like, yes. I knew he was gonna do that. But bro, that was one of the funniest moments in the whole movie when he was like, I'm gonna remember your name forever. Wait. I was like, son, really? I was like, instantly, son? I was like, damn, you ain't shit, bro. I was pissed. I was like,
I didn't say this earlier, but another one of the moments that I liked was when Mitsuha, but aka Taki, was in the forest with the family and he's learning about it. This is where he gets the idea to remember the shrine, and he carries the grandmother to the shrine. And when you see the shrine for the first time, that's one of the scenes I really like. But I have it under beautiful moments. Any other thoughts on just some of the scenes in just the ending, real quick, before we get to some beautiful moments, and then we talk about who won the movie, who lost the movie?
So another, like when I said I was depressed by the end of it, I didn't watch Your Name before I watched Weathering with You. I watched Weathering with You first.
Makes sense, because that's something I have in the future, because they make a cameo.
Yeah. Well, it's not actually a cameo. I learned because it's alternate reality. Because the timing doesn't match up with the events. But
isn't it like between the before you get, isn't it between the because doesn't Weathering with You take place in like 2021 or so?
Something like that.
And then like Your Name takes place in 2023, so it's between that time period of when Taki's like growing up to be an adult.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So I watched Weathering with You first, and also like this isn't really the anime's fault, but like anime that I grew up on, like I watched SAO like and all that, and I'm used to people getting relationships not being the end goal, right? Like relationships happen and then there's something after that. So when it ended on What's Your Name, I was like, wait, where's the rest of this shit at? Right? But I get it. So I was kind of depressed, not because like a bad ending, but I just wanted more.
Okay.
But like I thought it was really cool how they did it. I liked all the cameos from like Teshi at the end when he's married.
That was a great one.
With Miss Okudera being like, I don't even know what the hell she was doing, but she like pulled up and was like, "How are you doing, Taki?"
She was that like, you know, that girl in high school that you may have had relations with, but like you didn't end up choosing her in high school, and then you go away and you see her. You can maybe schmang, but y'all just look at each other and y'all are just like, yeah, we know what's up. Like, I miss you. If we lived another life, you could have been the one, maybe. And then she smokes her cigarette and dips out. Like, I thought that was beautiful. I fucking love that.
That's probably why her character hit so hard, because, you know, I just got out of high school. I feel that way right now. I know some people. But yeah, no, it was a good ending. I like Chrissa said, like, how did y'all find each other at the end? But like, yeah, it was good. If there was a Your Name 2, or like, I'd go see what happens after an OVA or something.
Same.
We need something. We need like at least like a 30-minute like little OVA.
Just know how they live in now.
See, I'm not gonna lie to you. The ending was amazing to me. I did love the ending, but like Has said, I wish I would have got a little bit more. Like to me, I don't know, and this is maybe asking for too much, and maybe it would have ruined it. But I wish, because you know, the punchline was like at the end of it, it was like, "What's your name?" You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was hoping that they wouldn't have lost, like, you know what I'm saying? You know how they lost all the memory?
They would have got it.
That one moment. Yeah, that one moment they looked at each other and been like, "Taki? Mitsuha?" And then all of a sudden it just floods back.
Not even that, Chris. They could have made it powerful. I love your idea. Let me be an editor in a screenwriter, the second screenwriter pass. So straight up, as they're looking at each other, we've already seen like a montage happen earlier with like of the montage where Taki remembers her in the hand-drawn shit, or we've seen the one where they go through the schedule. Give us some sort of montage from like half the screen, half Taki's face, half Mitsuha's thing, and it's running through the memories of just realizing, and then the screen fills up and you see them, and they don't even have to say anything. They just both cry. Because of the crying in the earlier scene, and they just end like that. Yo!
That would have been perfect. That would have been the perfect ending.
There's such a good potential for like beautiful animation in that scene of them remembering.
Yes. You can even black and white it if you want, just like hand drawn, like get real pretty, real like just and then just see tears. That would have just made it. Any other moments, because we went through the movie, but anything else that y'all have written down, or anything else that y'all want to just touch out before we get to best for beautiful moments and beautiful animation?
Beautiful moments, beautiful animation.
Oh no, I was just saying if you had anything left before we get to beautiful moments. Anything left in general, just about the movie, the ending.
Or one thing I didn't like the one thing I didn't like was there are some things that happen, like that I feel like have more potential in like a subplot that could be added. You don't have to do it, but like the corruption. I feel like the corruption that was mentioned was like used just to push like I hate it here, this place sucks, and like how shitty her dad is,
Yeah.
instead of like being a part of the actual plot. And like that's a huge thing to be mentioning. Then I feel like
yeah, it's really big just to say like the dad's a shitty person. They should have definitely expounded on that. I'm with you.
And then I feel like Mitsuha, her side, sort of with the corruption thing and like her school getting like or school friends seeing her, I feel like she got way more development than Taki. Like Taki,
that's interesting. Let's talk about this because I understand the beginning. I would say is like the Mitsuha movie, but I'd say the ending is the like. That's interesting in terms of like
the Taki movie, but it's the Taki movie
through Mitsuha's eyes.
Yeah, and it has heavy features from Mitsuha. Mitsuha's movie is exclusively Mitsuha. Like it doesn't involve Taki at all. Taki, like we see like what 2 scenes of his house.
We don't learn about his dad, and that's something that's very true. Like we just have that one scene with his dad. His dad was like, "Make breakfast." Does he have siblings? We don't know. But when they see the family, we see his mom, and then like everybody else. It's like, where did all that happen? No, that's a good point. But see, I was gonna ask, is this more so? And I guess this will get into who won the movie, and we'll do beautiful moments after. But whose movie was this? Was this Taki's movie or Mitsuha? I tend to think it is Taki's movie because he lived a lot of his shoes and we see a lot of backstory learned through Taki. But if you just say which character is it without knowing the Freaky Friday stuff, it's 100% Mitsuha's movie.
I think it's, and I'm sorry if you hear firecrackers going off.
No, you good, brother.
I want to say it's Taki's movie. Like I do because it's his journey.
Yeah.
But and that's the thing, right? Like Misa gets a lot of development for like who she is, but who she is by the beginning and the end of the movie are the same person.
Oh, well,
it's the same person. Taki doesn't really get development, but what we see at the beginning versus him at the end is completely different.
That's true.
So it's one of those things where it's like I know more about Mitsuha, but I watched Taki grow. But I don't know what he grew from. I just know like he's more assertive now. So it's odd. I can't really choose who won.
That's why I say like it's like I assume Mitsuha had developed, but it is Taki learning through her eyes. That's the Freaky Friday element. Christian, who do you think? Give us your thoughts on whose movie it is, and then we'll all go through and say who won the movie in their opinion.
Hearing y'all discuss that makes me think it's Taki. You know what I'm saying? But from the beginning all the way into the end, I was looking at it like Mitsuha's movie. You know what I'm saying? Just because she, I want to say for the most part, was the aggressor. And like in the beginning, you see how it's basically her movie. And then you get a point where she kind of takes the back seat and Taki takes control. But I feel like without her setting that tone, Taki would like, he wouldn't have rolled that hard for her. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, you're special. You're like the person that I know I'm supposed to be doing this for. You know what I'm saying? And there was a point in time where she was just like dead. You know what I'm saying? There was a wrap for her, but she left such an impact on him that he had to see about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that's at the point where he goes on a date and then he gets out of the date and even Mr. Kader's like, you used to like me, but there's something different about you. You like someone else now. And he's like, no, I don't. And she's like, it's okay. You'll figure it out. And now that's at that point. It's interesting, man, because Mitsuha is kind of Mitsuha's the vehicle, but Taki's the driver.
Like, damn, that does make a lot of sense.
That's a good analogy. Or like a good way to put it.
And that's why I'm going to say, just for purposes of this, I'm going to say it's 50-50 they won the movie each other. Because, for sure. Without each of them, the movie doesn't work. And because you got to think, when we see Taki's life for the first time, we see it through Mitsuha's, Mitsuha's perspective. So there's a lot of, we see Mitsuha's perspective, but through Taki's eyes. So, again, I'm just going to stick with Mitsuha's the vehicle and Taki's the driver. They both win 50-50. I'm not mad if y'all say either other way. But, Haz, who do you think won the movie?
I'm going to have to go 50-50. It's really hard for me to put one. Actually, yeah, because I was thinking of, the one scene at the very end where, or not the very end, but, when Mitsuha finally gets control back and she's saving the city. You know what? It might be Mitsu's movie because there is still a change in Mitsu. I didn't really realize this until now. When Taki goes to her father and he gets denied the first time,
and she didn't want to talk to. Yeah, the dad was pissed and wouldn't listen. But then when Mitsu goes and it's really her, that's true.
Yeah. So like, I have to give it just because of that scene, but it's like it's really close. Like it's 51-49, honestly.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that answer at all, Chrissa. Who you got winning the movie?
I want to say, like, if we could give it a 50-50, I'd give it a 50-50, but I do want to say Mitsuha just because she was such an impactful character to me. Like, I feel like I've gotten to know her more than I've gotten to know Taki. But even though I will give it a 50-50, I'll say both of those won the movie. I will say my favorite character in the movie was Mitsuha's little sister. She was hilarious. Every single line, she drove it home. She made me laugh every single time she said anything. Like, even at the end, whenever Taki was feeling the chest and he was like crying and shit, he was like, "Oh,
she lost it."
She was gone. She's like, "Oh shit."
That's funny. That's your favorite character because I was gonna ask who was most underrated that could have maybe got more scenes. I was gonna say the sister. The sister was most underrated. That's who I was gonna give it to.
Funny as hell.
Also, I have another underrated was the fact that this is an underrated plot line, but I feel like in the end, when they went to the future, they should have shown his homeboy and Miss Okudera kind of together because they seemed like they were bonding, and I thought that like maybe they should have been a couple. I kind of dug that idea, but you know
I like the idea that they didn't get together because it's like because when you get to the future, because they didn't say that everyone survived in the town, right?
Yeah, that's true.
They said most of them survived, and you see Miss Okudera and Taki before you get confirmation that Mitsu is alive. And the last thing I remember Miss Okudera saying was that she liked Taki. And like you were saying, it's like it's one of those people that you come at like, you know, you can smash, but we just don't talk about it. So
I like it because of that. 100. Yeah. I'm just saying if they could have did something, I wouldn't mind it. But I like the way they did it because she's that old flame. She is that old flame. Any underrated people that you have, because like Chris, I'm with the sister. Anyone who you like, all right, this person did a good job in the movie, but they weren't the two leads.
I feel like not necessarily that they didn't do enough, but like it feels like they were literally just there to say things that were kind of already obvious. Like Miss Okudera, like she's cool, but I don't feel like she's really just
okay. I gotta ask you before you say that. Do you think she lost the movie? Because we do have who was the worst, who lost the movie.
No.
Okay, cool. I'm just making sure.
Who lost the movie for sure. It wasn't. But yeah, so she like the day happens and it's not. I don't feel like up to that point people are confused as to who Taki likes. Like, I feel like it's pretty obvious at that point. I feel like when they're driving away, she just says that she likes Taki, or like when they're up in Ichimori. Jesus Christ.
That's just right there.
They're going crazy outside. But like when they get to Ichimori and they're kind of sleeping, and she's like talking about why she likes Taki. It's like, you're bringing up all this shit and no one gives a fuck. Like, you're not important. Like, that's beautiful. Like, he's such a cool guy. He's always passionate. You're telling his friend this, right? It's like, I know he just doesn't like me. I'm like, that's cool, but no one gives a fuck. All we know is that you're like the teacher that everyone wants to bone. Like, at that point, right?
We really don't know because we think she's older because everybody just calls her Miss Okudera. And it's just like, whatever. All right. Chris, I know you said the sister. Is that your underrated person?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, for sure.
1,000,000%. That's like my favorite character in the whole movie because there wasn't a dull moment when she was on the screen. She was always entertaining, always some amazing comic relief. She was just a good character to me as far as just being side character.
No, she was probably the best side character, either her or Teshi. But I like her. I like her probably more than Teshi. Teshi just had a couple good lines. Who lost the movie? I'll start with you, Haz. Who was the worst?
The worst person in the movie was Sayaka. Sayaka did not need to exist. Sayaka's a fucking clown. She has no development. She's there just to be there. Yo, bro, I really hate her character. She's not funny. She just
went on the broadcast. She did the broadcast.
Bro, anybody could have done that. The broadcast. this is the shit that gets me about the entire broadcast thing, right? The broadcast happens. Everyone should evacuate. That happened for like, what, 5 minutes?
Easy.
Right? We're looking at the entire city. People didn't move initially, right? They waited. Then they started moving. Then what happens after like 2 minutes?
Everybody's like, fuck this.
Yeah, they're like, oh, we're not gonna do this. And then they get on the mic like, stay where you're at. I don't believe 95% of people survive. Like at least 30% of them were stuck. They got killed. They got destroyed. She's a bum.
Chris, so we got has had Sayaka losing. Who do you have losing, Chrissa?
I see Sayaka was a waste of space. I had to go look. I was like, Sayaka. I had to go look at the pictures of the character list and be like, oh, her. Like, the only reason why she was there is so my homeboy did have to die lonely. You know what I'm saying? That's it. But at the end of the day, since the beginning of the movie, when he first fixed his fucking face to tell his daughter to fix her posture in front of the whole city, he lost the movie. And every time I saw him, I was mad. That dude was the fucking worst, bro.
Hey, fuck them kids.
Fuck it, they didn't even want to redeem him. Like, yeah, Mitsuha like talked to him and he ended up evacuating people, but they didn't even show his face. That's how much he fucking sucked.
They didn't even want to redeem him by letting you see him be like, okay, maybe we could evacuate the city. They were like, look, you just know he did that.
Yeah.
Fuck him. The movie ain't about him.
He didn't even he didn't do it. Mitsuha did it. He just was a vehicle. Like, we just let him, like, that's the whole thing. Like, she saved the city, not his ass. We don't need to even show him. Yeah, that's who I have losing the movie. I have the father losing the movie. Trash. Wait, would you say Has?
I said, I love when Taki pressed the shit out of him. And he looked
shook. He was like,
who are you?
Yeah, you're not my daughter. Yo, I thought the dad sucked even more because, like, he stopped living with his daughters and forced them on the grandma just because he was, like, I get you have grief, but, like, bro, you have your daughters. Like, what the fuck?
That's the last pieces of your wife, bro. Like,
yeah, and they look just like your wife. What's wrong with you, bro?
What did I say?
I was going to say, to be a politician, not only that, a shitty politician who has to cheat to get votes. Like, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Fucking piece of shit. Chris, what are you going to say?
I was just saying, like, compared to something else. Like, literally just last night, I was watching Ant-Man, and the whole premise of that movie was this dude, he just cared about his daughter so much, you know what I'm saying? Then he links up with this other dude who, you know what I'm saying, I don't know if you watch Ant-Man, he made the suit and everything, but he lost his wife. And the rest of the time protecting his daughter, even to the point where he lost his daughter because he didn't want to try to protect her. Like, he loved his wife so much, and then he loved his daughter so much. So for this dude to lose his wife, then automatically be like, fuck my daughters, nigga, I don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm gonna be a corrupt politician. It's like, dude, you are scum of the earth. Yeah. You just said fuck your daughters and let her go live. I don't even know if that was his mom or the wife's mom.
That's the wife's mom.
That's the wife's mom?
Yeah, because he was the son-in-law.
At that point, you just said you don't even need to be in your daughter's life at that point. Unless you see her on the street, you tell her to fix her slouching because you're a scumbag.
And the grandmother cursed his ass out. Bro. That shit was hilarious when the grandmother's like, fine, F you, leave, nigga. I'm going to take care of the daughters. And then that's why I was like, are we sure she would have? But if he would have turned down his guardian rights, then yeah, can't do that. That makes him even more of a scumbag because, like, he would have had to turn down his guardian rights for the grandmother.
Grandma started bitching him early on. Grandma was like, oh, no, you got to go.
Big facts. All right. Any beautiful animation moments? I know I didn't tell y'all to write these down. I have a couple, and then y'all could go through and say y'all's. I got when the family is talking about the Maguro's fire. That's early in the movie. I thought that was a really beautiful scene when you see like kind of this Edo style building, and it's with some modern stuff inside, and it's just the grandma and everything. I have when Taki is looking at Tokyo for the first time, but that's really Mitsuha. I have the Sony building during the montage, because that was one of the specific like things they took from American. I have the scene where they see the Mizuyami shrine, like I said, when you see the outlook of that canyon for the first time. The scene of Mitsuha, but really Taki and her family during Magic Hour. The scene where Mitsuha sees the star for the like in real life. And then when Taki is in the shrine and falls and sees the comet, when the comet actually struck, damn, the scene when they pass each other as adults, and then the scene at the end, the final scene when they show their faces. That was really beautiful. Haz, what you got? Beautiful moments, any of them?
I would suggest Chrissa go, because that.
Chrissa, what you got, brother?
I want to say, like, basically every scene of the scenery, every time you get a zoom out of the world, it's just always beautiful. Like the art style, whoever drew those sceneries did an amazing job. You see the birds fluttering, you saw the water glistening. The water always looked amazing in this movie. Even post-apocalypse, even not post-apocalypse, but even
but I get what post-comet when he's standing up on top and he's looking at it and it's all destroyed. Nah, man,
it was beautiful.
This movie was beautiful. Like this whole movie, 100% just looked incredible. And they had those moments where you see anime food. One in particular, I know I didn't write this down, but now you got me thinking of the pancake when Mitsuha spent his Taki's money, he's eating the pancake. I was like, damn, Japanese pancakes look so much better than American ones. My goodness.
When she had the little montage of all the food that she was eating on his dime, and he was like, "Stop spending money."
That was definitely
hit home, bro. That was the funniest thing ever. You know what I'm saying? He on like a minimum wage high school kid job budget, and she's over there like, "Oh my God, we're at a cafe. Let's go." She literally just said the shit that was on the menu costed the same amount
as a year.
Of her living. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, "Fuck it, ain't my money, bro. I'm dreaming out here. Let's." You know what I'm saying?
I just told Tenchi how I wanted to go to a damn cafe, and this nigga took me to a vending machine. You best believe I'm running it up.
Facts.
My favorite, like, beautiful scene was the entirety of when the future and past like collide on top of the ring, and they're like yelling to each other and they're running around because like you don't see much. It's not like as detailed as like the other stuff with like the cities, but that like fog, and then when they finally get to each other and they write the name, and like I don't know how to explain it, but like the way that it sort of all disappears as soon as like the time limit stops.
Yeah, and everything just drops, and his hand has just that one line on it. Yeah, I know.
I was like, oh shit, this is fire. This is like beautiful. And then there was no music either. Like it was just dead silent. I was like, felt that. I fucking felt that.
No, 100%.
I want to add to, because you just reminded me of something that I wanted to say earlier on. The score of this movie. Like,
I was just about to say, I should have said that. I should have said that as most underrated. Like, because the score is fucking phenomenal.
Bro, I remember my girl had said that, like, by the time we got to the end, my girl was like, bruh, the music in this movie drove every point home. It was like it made every emotion, like it captured the perfect essence of that moment in the music to where it made you feel it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you weren't feeling it just from the context of the movie and seeing the story unfold, the music drove that shit home to where if you wasn't crying before, you were crying mid-song. When that song started spiking in volume and the scenery, not the scenery, but the animation started going crazy, that shit just tear-jerking, bro. Like playing the heartstrings. Like
no, 100%. I'm with y'all on both of that. Anything else y'all want to add before we get our final run it back scores? Because every episode of Run It Back, we're gonna get the run it back score of 1 to 10, and that's gonna be the run it back champion's gonna be at top. Obviously, this is the first one, but we're starting off with something high to see. We're gonna have everyone score, and then we're gonna rank them by however long Run It Back lasts. We're gonna just have a bunch of rankings for all these movies. But any final thoughts? I'll start with you, Chrissa.
I want to give it a 10, bro. I really want to give it a 10 because this movie took me from, you know what I'm saying, not expecting much to like it being one of my favorite movies of all time. Anime, not anime, you know what I'm saying? This is a banger, bro. I'm probably gonna watch this one a couple more times. Definitely gonna suggest it to people. But I want to say if not a 10, it's like a 9.9. The 0.1 that it's lacking is very small. It's just what if this happened? What if this happened? A couple things could have been done a little bit more perfectly. But I think this is about as close to perfection as you can get for an animated movie.
Yo, I like that rating. 9.9 for Chrissa. Stamp it in. I'm gonna maybe if I get to it, I'm gonna edit in a 9.9 right there when I say stamp it in. If not, then you guys know. But would you recommend this and give us your final thoughts and then rating?
Final thoughts. Also, besides the music and like the animation, the dub was great.
Thank you for saying it because I watched the dub as well.
I was amazed because these are voices I had heard before. I'm trying to remember where I have it up right now. I know one of them was from Bleach. I think Taki is like the voice actor does like Menace and Luffy and Gyoga from Bleach. So like I heard them before, but it's one of those things where it's like it works well in this movie. And I know that Stephanie, who did Misa, was in Blue Exorcist as Yukio Okamura. So yeah, it was great dub. I'm gonna have to give this. See, this is hard because I had a talk with Pete from What Do You Say Anime,
Mm-hmm.
because before, and I want to give it a 9 because I can't give it a 9. I can't give it higher than a 9 because there is another movie that I already have rated higher.
Weathering with You.
Yeah, I think Weathering with You did this way better, which is why Your Name kind of gets its score hurt a little. It's still a 9, right? But yeah, I'd recommend this to anyone, honestly.
No, 100%. That's interesting, man. And I told you we're not gonna do Weathering with You for a while, but when we do, we will definitely bring you back. I gotta get into some action before I do Weathering with You. This shit hurt. This shit hurt a lot. But I love. But it's amazing though. I really love this movie. I think Shinkai look, the fact that he said he's not the next Miyazaki, that's humbling in itself, and that's respectful for him not to say it. But in terms of filmmakers, he gets on that filmmaker list for me. He is now on that list of people. Like, I have an American list of people I'll check for their movies, like Nolan, Tarantino. In terms of animated, Bruce Timm, Paul Dini with the DC animation. I have some other people like I'm trying to think of names right now. Denis Villeneuve, the guy who directed Black Panther and Creed. God, I can't believe I'm forgetting. Ryan Cooper. I think his name is Ryan Cooper. I believe his name is. Gosh, I'm sorry if I'm flubbing on your name right now, but I put Shinkai in that list in that pantheon of directors now, and it's just been one. Oh, Ryan Coogler, and it's just been I've seen one movie, and to know Weathering with You is going to come out and be a smash. I'm looking forward to the day I watch that, and I'm waiting until we do the review on this show because another thing that made Your Name so special for me was I didn't know anything about the movie. I didn't know shit. I didn't know that there was a Freaky Friday. I didn't know anything. And seeing the slice of life just happen and then it transformed into this thriller almost at the edge of your seat, it's like, this movie was great, and Shinkai did his thing. I'm going to give it, I'm going to give it a 9.5. It is a 9.5. A couple Are We Sure's, but nah, it's a 9.5, maybe even a 9.7. Like, it is high up there. Like Chrissa said, there's very few things wrong with it. Like, this movie is great. I recommend this movie for sure. This movie is 100% a run it back movie. Stamp. Oh, yeah. This movie was amazing. Thank you guys for doing this. Thank you for being on the first Run It Back. Chrissa will have you back as well. And then Haz, you already know we're going to have you back, especially for Weathering with You. Chris, I can't wait to see this journey of our side content, man. We started the side content.
Getting it in.
Anime Talk presents Run It Back. We'll be back. I got to figure out what the next movie is. And Chris, if you want to suggest something, whatever, you can just let me know.
We can.
Oh, he's freezing.
Before the week starts, I'm saying we're 9 times out of 10 gonna be on IG Live talking about the new Shaman.
Oh yeah, people can.
So if y'all want to throw out some suggestions on while we on live, throw out some suggestions.
Yeah, throw out some because we will be doing live later this week. Y'all can definitely throw out some suggestions for which I want to see us doing Run It Back. I think we're gonna throw it back though for the next one because
starting off. This was a great start though. Like anybody who puts this under 9, I'm making you watch it again. Like you got to rewatch. You missed something. You was like paying attention to your phone or something.
I'm so surprised. Like, I'm glad y'all loved it because like this is my bag. Like this is heavy my bag. I don't know what you guys watch outside of what you.
But you know, like we keep it very obvious on Anime Talk, and I think that's something I wanted to show that Run It Back will do because Anime Talk is very specific in what it does. It has its modus operandi. It has its journey it's going to take. But with Run It Back, me and Chrissa get to show other sides of ourselves and show that we can go down these other paths and bring along new voices like yourself has. And that's something that we're really looking forward to. Step out of our comfort zone, so to speak, and do some other things.
Yeah. I have a suggestion for you just so that you could get back to the action and not, hurt and get your heart soiled with. Just run back One Piece of Gold.
That's gonna be something we have to talk about off air about how we're gonna handle these anime series movies. How we're gonna handle these anime series because I've been thinking about obviously we're not gonna do One Piece on Run It Back, but I was thinking about doing various like impactful episodes of One Piece and run it back. Like, we'll have like a One Piece folder, and we'll have like just very impactful episodes in the anime along with some of the movies. Same thing with Naruto. Like, we're gonna have to review the Pain and Naruto fight. That might be a 3-parter where we take 3 episodes of the fight and we talk about it. But like, we're gonna have to figure that out. But One Piece going with that. That's going on the rec list. That is going on the rec list. Haz, because you're our guest, tell the people where they can find you out on social media, and tell them a little bit about yourself, about your music, and tell them where they can find that at.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HAZ_TIK. I'm on SoundCloud. I make music. It's pretty bad music, but if you want to find it,
don't let him do that. That's big cap. That people heard Energy on Bros Who Think Pod, bro. That shit was fire.
Oh, that shit was mid. SoundCloud.com/Haztik. If you follow me and you're expecting any of the shonen content that you probably are used to from Anime Talk, you're in the wrong spot. You're going to see anime titties all over the timeline. And then on the other side of that, you're going to see dead tube and gore. So I'm a degenerate. I'm proud.
Y'all make sure y'all follow Haz, man. He's being a lie. He's being more pessimistic than it is. He will definitely argue with you about shonen. And this is one of my favorite people on Twitter. This is one of my favorite people to talk anime with. Like, this dude is, I know he said he was like a fan of us, but like, I've become like a friend acquaintance with this guy. And it's just like, I really enjoy our conversations. And I think he's one of the better people on Annie Twitter. So thank you so much, Haz, for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. Chrissa, tell the people they can find you at, my brother. We're starting a new journey, brother. Run it back, episode 1.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready to get it started, man. But I gotta say before I plug my shit in, don't let Haz undersell his music or his Twitter. Honestly, one of the funniest Twitter accounts I follow. Like, this dude puts straight facts on the timeline majority of the time. When it's not facts, it's hilarious shonen takes, hilarious takes on other shit. But we got some music on the way too. Like, if you want to find me on Chrissa SJE everywhere. No underscore, just Chrissa SJE. You know what I'm saying? But you could mainly find me and my brother Haz We Radio Spotify playlist, man. That's where all the anime OSTs, anime soundtrack songs, all my songs, all Haz songs, my bro Taco God. If it got to do with anime and music, search hashtag Weeb Radio on Spotify, and that's definitely where I'd want you to find it. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Y'all make sure y'all go check that out. You can follow me at LynnBWT. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. If you haven't checked out the most recent episode of Anime Talk, you can check it out. This is a YouTube exclusive show. This won't be on any of the other platforms. And last week, because the Anime Talk listeners who listen to the show, because I didn't put out the Vocal Pineapple episode on SoundCloud due to just the audio was kind of corrupted in certain points and they worked better as a video. I didn't want to mess that up, so that was YouTube exclusive. So I threw the Anime Talk fans a bone. It is out on the SoundCloud right now. Haz trying to distract me. I see him. Don't let him do that to y'all. But yeah, y'all check out the most recent episode of Anime Talk. It's out on all audio platforms as well as YouTube. Check out the most recent episode of Bros Who Think. There's a new Bros Who Binge that's out now on all audio platforms. And then this upcoming Thursday, because you guys are getting this on Tuesday, there'll be another Bros Who Think. And be sure to check out, me and Chrissa will go live at some point in the end of the week on IGTV. And like he said, bring suggestions for what you want to see on Run It Back. If you want to suggest something for Run It Back and miss our IG live, go to www.broswhothink.com. On the homepage, scroll all the way down, put your first, last name in the subject line, put Run It Back suggestion, throw what you want us to review next. Or if you have a question for Anime Talk, throw that in there. Or if you want to tell us we suck, throw that in there. We'll respond to it either way. Doesn't matter. Throw whatever you want in there. But thank you to everybody who checked out our first episode of Run It Back. Thank you to Haz for coming on, being our first guest. Really, really appreciate it. But for Haz, for Chrissa, my name is Lynden. You guys have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Until then, peace.